beautiful host, none other than Sergeant Tanya Lane.
Thank you, Isis. It's good to be in the house. I'm solo this morning, and it is still good to be in the house one more time. This is St. Andrews South Beat. Good morning to our listeners and welcome to the program right here in Roots 96.1 FM. I am your host this morning, Tanya Lane, Sergeant of Police. The St. Andrews South Beat is a special program designed to explore issues affecting the St. Andrews South Division. Each week we'll be focusing on breaking the barriers of several issues affecting the division and the citizens. Today's program aims at spreading awareness of our transformation of the JCF. Remember to join us on today's discussion by calling 876-225-9478 and share your thoughts on today's discussion. You can also listen live on rootsjamaica.com. Go follow us on Facebook at Roots FM Jamaica. Follow us on Instagram at Roots 96.1 FM Jamaica and on Twitter at Roots_96 FM. The program is brought to you by New Budget Supplies, always the best prices. Now, this morning we have a special guest, somebody I've known for many years, none other than our Senior Superintendent of Police, Gary McKenzie. He is going to be with us this morning, and Francis, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Gary McKenzie. Our Senior Superintendent of Police, Gary Francis. We have a Gary McKenzie, but it's not our ACP. It's our Senior Superintendent of Police, Gary Francis, who actually led the police emergency, the section that you call 119, that he will tell us a little bit more about the police emergency. But before we get into that aspect of it, let me tell you about the Jamaica Constabulary Force. They have staged an expo for the public from May 11 to 14, which our Senior Superintendent, Sir Francis, was a major contributor to same. That expo took place at the National Arena in Kingston. That event dubbed Transformation, People, Quality and Technology. The expo was a historical moment for the JCF, and our Senior Superintendent will tell us more about this. He is online with us as we speak. Senior Superintendent of Police, Sir Francis, are you there?
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Sergeant Lane, and to the listeners of Roots FM. Morning, and thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. I gave you a ACP post just now by calling you Gary McKenzie. I don't think it's a bad thing, because then you get more money, which is good.
I recognize that you don't give me an ACP post, but you
I give you a different name.
Send me to the post of a depot. You have
change your name. We do have the agency for that.
Of course, to be identified with Gary McKenzie is an honor. No issue is a senior colleague.
Yes.
I have great respect for the gentleman, his knowledge and his level of
very bright.
Is unquestioned.
Extremely bright. Our PSTEB ACP, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Gary Francis, a very bright individual who will tell you.
Sergeant Lane,
go ahead, sir.
You're confusing us all. I mean, he is Assistant Commissioner
of Police,
Gary McKenzie. Right? And you're calling him Assistant Commissioner Gary Francis, right? And calling me Senior Superintendent.
It's just the Gary thing,
so maybe I have to,
go back to my drawing board. But Assistant Commissioner of Police, Gary McKenzie, and Senior Superintendent of Police, Gary Francis, who's going to speak to us about the expo and what transpired within that period. That I think it was our first expo for the JCF. Senior Superintendent, sir, I understand that you play a major part in this expo. tell us really about the expo and all that happened and what was the aim and objective of same.
Well, thank you again, Sergeant Lane. Transformation, Jamaica Constabulary Force Transformation Exposition 2023, People, Quality and Technology, was staged at the National Arena between May 11 to 14. And it was a success in terms of the objective that we have at the time. Of course, and it's really a big team effort from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, led by none other but our Commissioner of Police, Major General Anthony Anderson, and the team. So the objective of this expo, and please, I'm just emphasizing people, quality, and technology. So it is really the intent of the commander, the commissioner of the state, to showcase the transformation of the organization through, of course, its quality technology, its quality service, but this wouldn't be possible without the quality people that actually driving all of this. So it's people, quality, and technology. And the hallmark of this is to really showcase to the people of Jamaica how this combination of people, quality, and technology of the JCF is impacting the service to the people, how it translates to improve response, how that translates to improve protection and reassurance. And that was really the aim. And of course, one of the things about this exposition, you mentioned that it is our first. Not quite our first exposition. The JCF have staged a number of expositions in the past, but none like this. None like this. This was different in many ways. Because this one was really grand, and it showcased all facets of the organization and how each formation integrates with others in order to deliver service. And that make it such different. And we have never had an exposition that go over a day. So this one was not even 1, 2, or 3 days. It was a 4 days exposition. And the persons who didn't come to view it, didn't get the opportunity to do so, it's really, but I understand that there are different clippings that are on the different social media sites, the YouTube, etc., that they could see. But the truth is that the JCF, since its formation in 1867, it has gone through a number of improvement, transformation, advancement, etc. And the citizens that we serve sometimes are totally unaware of our capabilities as a police force. And it was the intent of the commissioner to use this medium to educate, enlighten, and to empower our citizens and the service and services that the police force offers and the capability that we have as we advance. Because sometimes we have discussions and some persons recommend, suggesting that the force should be doing so and doing so. And some of the things that they are suggesting the force should be doing, the force has been doing that long ago and even advanced in terms of the stage that it is delivering the service like that. So as a result of that, we, wanted to showcase to the people where we are and how we are serving other persons who may have known and how we can serve them looking and now coming for service, how better or how best to access those service. And if they don't, get those service, what are the things that they could do as a citizen in order to receive those service, the services that they're not getting that way, right? And of course, a couple of the things about the JCF is that quite a bit of the technology that was on show and is still being utilized in a number of divisions are developed and have been developed by members of the organization, right?
True.
Members, young, brilliant men and women who serve the organization and continue to serve, have been serving in many, many ways. So that is one of the significant thing about this. And I must say though that this expo showcased a number of formations from our investigative skills to operational competencies and capabilities to the technological advancement and even aspect of our administrative advancement. And it's sufficing to say that a part of this quality-driven force is to put to test our own service that we offer. And in 2021, the commissioner decided to benchmark and the service of the force to a particular standard, and no less than the International Standard Organization, the ISO, and of such selected formation of the force was actually identified and go through the rigors and have been certified as International Standard Organization certified, meaning the standard of service which is being delivered at these points of service are certified as ISO standard, right? And we have expanded the number of formation to include other division, to include St. Andrew South, that I know working on getting the standard right up. The Duane Park Police Station, which is a part of the first set of formation, we have been certified.
Which is correct.
But I know the St. Andrew South, the division now is in it to be up there. So that is a level of quality service that we're talking about when we speak about people, quality, and technology.
I thank you, Senior Officer. I was actually at the expo. The expo was a very interactive and high-tech environment upon my arrival. Jamaicans from all walks of life did experience a side of the JCF, like you said. I don't think that they would have known that we do have this part within the JCF. So it was like news to them, because I could see persons asking a lot of questions, and they were a little bit surprised in terms of what it is that we have to offer. What my question to you is, Senior Officer, what really influenced this transformation, and for this expo, what happened? What really happened for the JCF to bring this out to the public?
Well, as I've said earlier, that as a service-driven organization, the commissioner thought it quite well to display the capabilities of the organization as a part of the reassuring factor to the people, that the citizens of Jamaica, and with the objective of one, just enlightening persons and where we are, educating our citizens, and the service, the capabilities we have, the service we offer, and how best to access these service, right? And of course, to bring that level of enlightenment, that in order to strengthen the relationship, and to invite our citizens to not just to know, but to be a part of this transformation, to be a part, to join us on this transformation journey, and to impact the narrative about their police force. Because the more they know about their police force, is the more they'll speak better about the police force and to support the transformation. So we expect that the expo would actually influence a national conversation around our police force and how better we can do, how much we can do to support the police force itself. So those are some of the reasons why, the rationale why the expo was delivered. Right? It's all about improving the service to the people, and improving the service. We believe that a knowledgeable citizenry will be better able to relate to their police force and better able to be a part of this transformational journey for their police force. And of course, we have achieved that at the exposition. And since then, the conversations are current. There are quite a bit of idea. A lot of people are on board. A lot of people are seeing things that they haven't seen before. And I said before, I know that persons might be listening now. We say, what are some of those things? So we actually walk through the organization from you become a member or interested to become a member, right through training into how we deliver service. We show in the technology how we use various surveillance technology to support community safety and security, right? How we use intelligence to support investigation to let Jamaica be a safer place. How we utilize the multiple phases of the technology to combine to secure our township or community, etc. So, some things that may never make much connection to you before you see, make much knowledge to you when you look and say, oh, this is how it works, and this is the reason why, and so forth. What's the capability and functionality of our assets, of our marine assets, of our specialized operation assets, how they work to integrate to let this country. How does the border assets work? This include our K9, this include our marine boat and so forth. How does those complement in terms of making Jamaica a safer place and so forth? So those are, just a bit of, when you go on a crime scene, why is it important not to trample the scene? What are some of the key things that you should do as a citizen if you were to be told or go attend a crime scene? How can you contribute to help solving this matter instead of compromising a crime scene, and so forth? So those are just a few of the things that were on display as we walk through Transformation PQ3.
I know you were on the ground when the expo, the day, date, and time. The citizens, it was a large crowd. Can you describe the wow? Was it a wow moment for the citizens? What were your experience by watching, with your power of observation, by seeing these citizens asking the police questions and we returning answers? What did you see? What was it?
Well, it was really a wow moment for both the police officers and the citizens who actually visited the various booths. And what it showed really is quite a bit of interest on the part of our citizens, that they were really, and not only by their non-verbals, but they, hundreds of persons expressed how happy they were to be a part, to be able to see and to ask questions. And of course, the expo had knowledgeable police officers knowing their subject matter and able to respond fluently and effectively to the questions that were asked to empower the citizens. And what we saw there was really, good meeting of the minds and sharing of ideas and expression, and lot of learning and teaching moments. And so, we believe as we see those coming together, we recognize that the objective of the expo is really being realized. And of course, the expo was actually, supported by some of our partners. We actually had the Jamaica Technology and Digital Alliance partnering with us, and there are other partner that came on board, sometime during the thing. But the whole environment was actually, filled with just knowledge sharing. There's a part of our, because we do believe that even though we have the different things and exposition and tools and equipment and so forth, there will be questions that persons want to ask. So we have two knowledge pods that we have have established, where we have subjects that we believe are frequently asked question about, questions like cyber security, how best to be safe while you surf online as a child, how you navigate online as an adult, issues of financial crime, fraud, and so forth. We have the subject matter expert having sessions in these knowledge pods, making presentation, empowering our citizens on these topics, some sexual offenses, etc., and so forth. A number of sessions held with these topics that we believe, citizens want to know something about. And these knowledge pods were always buzzing with activity and filled the capacity, just people's learning new things, asking questions, and interacting with the presenter, just to be a more rounded, more knowledgeable citizen in helping us to have a safer Jamaica.
A very knowledgeable senior officer we have. We had over 25 of our formation displaying various gazettes and how we deliver service in the JCF. We saw displays from the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch that showcase how best we're using technology, using the e-ticketing system, or using the speed radar. The expo, it was really educating.
Even as you mentioned, the speed radar, Sergeant Lane. So there are persons with concerns about the accuracy of our speed radar and so forth, and those are some of the things we want to educate our citizenship on. And of course, the representative from PSTEB, right, that were there, actually explained clearly about the technology that they use in those speed radars that identify a particular vehicle, and not only identify the vehicle, but also have a video recording of the specific vehicle that is caught speeding, etc. And that also clear quite a bit of fear from the citizens who benefited from those information sharing and lectures. So those were well done.
Thank you for that, Senior Officer. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll talk about the police emergency section and how it operates, and you are the person who is in charge of that section. This is St. Andrews South Beat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
New Budget Supplies massive price buster now on. Want to redo that kitchen? Retile that old floor? Stop that leaking roof? Make over the bathroom? It's now or never. White toilet from $14,999. 5-gallon paint from $6,599. Gypsum board $1,749. 50% off UPVC French windows. 10% off kitchen sinks, water tanks, and pumps. 195 Hackleburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Get the real inner city community news and be informed. You can do all that and more on City Beat, Monday to Friday at 12:45 p.m. on Roots 96.1 FM. City Beat puts you in the know and keeps you rocking in the world of knowledge. So let City Beat catch you on Roots 96.1 FM, Monday to Friday at 12:45 for City Beat. City Beat is a pulse of the city, so don't miss it. Monday to Friday at 12:45 p.m. on Roots 96.1 FM.
I'm free from the fear.
The Araratro Evangelistic Association presents Walk Free here on Roots 96.1 FM in a new time, 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. On Walk Free, you will hear life-changing testimonies, inspirational messages, and music to encourage you. Remember, tune in to Walk Free. Listen every Sunday from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. And if you've missed it, tune in to the rebroadcast on Wednesdays at 6 a.m. Tune in and be blessed.
Freedom is coming, freedom is coming, freedom is coming, oh yes I know.
Tune in this and every Sunday from 9:30 to Moments of Freedom, the weekly broadcast of the Riverton Meadows and Mamby Park Baptist Churches, with host Pastor Reverend Sidney Hall. Join us with opened minds and hearts and be blessed.
Freedom is coming, freedom is coming, freedom is coming, oh yes I know. Oh yeah, 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 oh yeah.
Welcome back to St. Andrews South Beat. Remember, if you're joining us, please remember to call us in 876-225-9478 and share your thoughts on today's discussion. You can also listen live on rootsfmjamaica.com or follow us on Twitter. Senior Officer, you there? Senior Officer? Senior Superintendent? Sir Francis? Still trying to get our senior officer back on.
I'm here.
You're here. All right. Senior officer, welcome back to St. Andrews South Beat. You head our police 119 emergency. Some persons probably wonder what is police emergency. Also, this is one of the section that was certified the ISO 9001, and you were the person that was there at that time, which it was a lot of work, a lot of things happened, and you made it happen. Tell us a little bit more about police emergency, the services that you offer, and to the public, and what are your expectations to the public, and some of the challenges that you are having with the public as it relates to police emergency.
Thank you for the opportunity to share about the Police Emergency Communication Center, or the 119 Center, Sergeant Lane. So the Police Emergency Communication Center is one of the mission critical formation of the organization. We're responsible to respond to all the emergency or 119, the calls made to 119, interview the callers to find out exactly what the emergencies are, and then ensure a unit, the appropriate unit is dispatched to that need in order to fulfill the request or what is needed by the caller. So in a nutshell, That's what we do on the front end. There's quite a bit of other things that we do in administration, like we actually update the I command and the occurrence around the country on a consistent basis. Any incident, event of national interest that occurring would be relate to the police I command through us on a momentary basis, and so forth. So we are also responsible to communicate with all the field operatives, that is the police officers that are dispatched on duty right across Jamaica and functioning. We interact with them in terms of providing support for general security and assistance or any kind of information that they want to further their inquiry, investigation, or test. If they need to find out issues concerning individual or motor vehicle or some, they would actually relay the message through police emergency, and we provide that 24-hour support to the operative there. So it's really a 24-hour mission critical hub that provides support to our internal customer for better service, but the external customer has also directly interface with our external customer, providing them with the service they need in policing. So it's in a nutshell, that is what we do. So the fact that we actually, this is where 119 calls are terminated. We receive between 6,000 to 9,000 calls per day, and sad to say that from that number, some 85% of that number are calls that are not related to policing. They are prank calls or crank calls that come in the line and maybe just clog up the line, and when we have legitimate calls coming in, those calls sometimes hinder the legitimate calls. So because we operate, the system works through capacity, right? So if we have 25 people calling about the same within the same 1 or 2 minutes block for service, and 15 of those calls are not related to anything emergency or police service any at all, and 5 of those calls are very emergency matters that need emergency treatment just now. The calls will come in the center the way or their dial, meaning the first one that call will come in first. And if those 15 calls that have no relation to police were the first ones, those calls will have to be cleared at the line end, answered by some agent before we get to the 1-2 that are really genuine emergency. So as a result of that, we encourage and we appeal to our citizens to encourage persons to use the 119, the emergency line, responsibly. Use it to only call when there is an emergency, right? 119 is really the hub for security matters. Nonetheless, we receive calls, all kind of emergency, whether it be something from fire, something from any threat to life. We receive those calls, and we normally route the call to the agency or agencies that should get the call as a call out, if it doesn't relate to policing. So if we receive a call about a fire, we relate the matter directly to the fire services. and so forth, right? And speaking about if it's a natural disaster, we actually have our call out protocols that we call the persons who should receive the call for the requisite support to reach the citizen within time. And speak about natural disaster, today being June 1, the beginning of the hurricane season, the Atlantic hurricane season. There are a number of protocols that, we should do, and we appeal to our citizens, especially those that can hear me just now and the secondaries, to remember to be responsible with the disposing of some of the waste, not to let them get into the drain, that they may block the drain to impede the free passage of water, that may lead to flooding, that may otherwise cause maybe a myriads of other kind of disaster. So we just use that opportunity to inject that in there. So that's in general what we do, and my appeal is to encourage my citizens. We also sometimes receive a great number of calls in the afternoon from children when they are home unsupervised. So I just want to ask my parents to supervise, to guide, to teach our children the correct way and the reason why they'd want to use 119 line and not to use it, for, irresponsible.
Thank you, Senior Officer. The quality management system operating standard, this is becoming the way of life within the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The implementation of the quality management system within the JCF, which is our primary law enforcement agency, that signaled the direction in which law enforcement in Jamaica is going. We, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, we got certified under the ISO quality management system. The police emergency was one of the first section of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to be certified under that quality management system, where we provide service to people within the country itself. Tell us a little bit more about the ISO 9001.
Well, so, we started the conversation earlier by looking at the transformation of the JCF through people, quality, and technology. So quality is all in there because the organization see quality as something that we ought to have as a standard, quality standard. As a matter of fact, if I should borrow the words of Willa Foster, say, quality is never by accident, but is always a result of high intentions, sincere effort, intelligent direction, and skillful execution. And it represents a wise choice of many alternatives. So it is important as the commander's intent, right, which is shared intent. But the JCF, and more so the Police Emergency Communication Center 119, which is really the first stop that people know in when calling for the police. This front gate, this front office had to be an office that deliver quality. And as such, we ensure that the requisite protocols have been developed, the policies have been developed, the standard operation procedure have been developed and used as the standard to operate by. So each staff that work here would know the standard, would know about the standard and deliver service to that standard. And the standard is a standard which is tested and proven to be something that the citizen would be satisfied with, the quality of service. And as such, even in all of that, if the service that is expected by citizens have not been realized, then there are redress, there are avenues, there are facilities that the citizen can actually tap into to report those if they do occur, because we want to ensure that quality remain quality. So having established the various protocols and the standard operation procedures and policy, then we open our doors to the International Standard Organization to come and look at those and look at what we are doing, and to say if what we say we are doing, if that's what they find us doing. And that is exactly what they found us doing. So we are not just as certified, but we are supposed to live at that standard. So we are currently preparing for a second evaluation or audit by the ISO to see if we are still doing what we say we were doing. And of course, I know that they will find that and even improve quality in that. But that is really where we are with the international standard, which is really a big thing. Very few organizations in Jamaica, very few, handful, can say that we are certified, right? But the Jamaica Constabulary Force did not hesitate to open our doors, expose our vulnerabilities. We say, examine us, tell us if we up the standard, and then, we are proven to be right there. And as such, we are expanding the formation now, increasing the number of formation to ensure that the standard is not something that becomes something we talk about, but becomes something that it is really what you should judge us by. So that depicts a big part of the transformation of the Jamaica Constable.
Very, very, very big part of the transformation. This is St. Andrews South Beat. Remember to call us in 876-225-9478 and share your thoughts in today's discussion. Senior officer who spoke about the implementation of our ISO 9001 quality management system, the fact that we're geared towards developing service standards of quality to meet the needs of our people, and the customer standardizing procedures and work instruction to ensure that quality service is adequately defined and consistently delivered. We were tested and proven, and our senior officer explained to you that it's not something that it just don't come normal. We have our SOP, we have our policies, and we're saying to these international persons that we're delivering based on what we have on our books, and they come to look at what we have on our books and test what we have to see if we're really delivering to the citizen of Jamaica. So when they do test us, they recognize that we are delivering like we say we are going to, and certify us accordingly. We're heading, as our senior officer told you, in recertification for other areas that have been certified, and certify other areas that needs to be certified. And this is a good look for the JCF, because it proves us and it helps to show that we're actually delivering to the citizens within Jamaica what we say that we plan to deliver, and they test us accordingly. And that's a good look for the JCF to measure us accordingly and to put that in place. I believe that my senior officer can help me. We are the first police force in the Caribbean to test that water. Am I correct? with the JCF.
Yes, that's correct.
We are the first. So that's a biggie for the Jamaica Constabulary Force to show that we have a very brave heart. We are the first in the Caribbean to put ourselves before the ISO 9001 as a police force, because as you know, in every organization you always have glitches, but we put ourselves on the front line like soldiers normally do, and we pass our tests, and we reassure you that we're going to put ourselves again on the front line, and we will deliver, because all we're doing is saying to the ISO 9001 that we are delivering exactly what we promised to the citizen of Jamaica. That include our divisional plan, our station plan, and all we have to do is to execute exactly what it is that we promise to deliver, and all the SOP and the policies that we deliver to the citizen of Jamaica. Once again, this is St. Andrews South Beat. Remember to call us and 876-225-9478 and share your thoughts on today's discussion. Senior Officer, let me divert a little bit. You serve the St. Andrews South Division. This is a St. Andrews South program. You were here for a little bit and you serve the people within St. Andrews South. What was it like working in the St. Andrews South Division? How was it with the citizen within the space?
Well, for me, one of my mantra is to serve people and to impact lives positively. During my tenure in St. Andrews South Division between 2018 and 2019, it was quite good. I mean, I've interacted with a number of citizens who have built different relationships just in the vicinity that you are at Roots FM location. I know my friends can remember we had a very historic what that was an event. There's a meeting. We had some challenges with some conflicting communities, and we set up a concert right in the middle
very
of
tough division.
Very close to where you are there now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was attended from persons from neighboring communities who for years they have come to confess they have never interact with each other. And that very event sparked a new normal, and people start interacting, people start coming out, and it actually caused a significant reduction in the violent activities that were occurring at the time, and so forth. That is one of the many kind of interactions. I remember we have mission attending various churches, and we sometimes attend as a group leadership. We attend sometimes 4 services on one Sunday, because different church start their service at different time. So we would get ready for the 9 a.m. service. Now we attend and share with them, and then we attend a service starting at 10 a.m. and then we might attend one at 11. So as one Sunday we move from in the Delaney Park space to the Walton Park, Lower Walton Park Road, and so forth. So we have had quite a bit of interactive time with the citizens there, and have managed to achieve quite a bit in terms of some amount of safety and security during the tenure there. And I know that the team there is doing nothing less than continuing the work that I started there many years ago.
A very, very tough division, if you ask me. Still serving, but it's a division that when you are serving the people within the St. Andrews South Division, once you start serving them, you want to continue serving them the best way that you know, as we're working together to create better communities and build our Vision 2030. Vision 2030, for making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise family, and do business. You would have left your mark leading up to Vision 2030. You're still striving to Vision 2030, senior officer. You would have spent, how long have you spent in the Jamaica Constabulary Force?
What was the question?
I asked, how long have you served the people within the Jamaica Constabulary Force? Because you left your mark here. You're leaving.
You mean serving?
Yes.
Well, I am serving close to 31 years.
Okay, that's my age. Which is good.
And I have pleasure serving the Jamaica. I have had the privilege of serving in all 5 geographic areas of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and also managed to serve other non-geographic space, and it's all about service, and I'll continue to serve.
Yes.
Basically, I can reassure the citizens that, I will continue to serve with quality, which is not by accident, but a deliberate way, and to encourage our citizens to, as human beings, let us reason, let us talk about things, let us sit and reason, and go back to the basics, become persons that interact in civil way, share, show care, and so forth. We have had too many of our ancestors who die for freedom of Jamaica, persons who give their life just for freedom, in order to have in 2023 the number of our own citizens who are killing each other, who are shooting each other. There's no need for that, because what we have different from the animals, we have sense, we have the ability to listen, to reason, and to work out our differences as human beings. We will not share the same view. It is not normal that we have people from all walks of life and everybody saying the same thing, but we can say different thing, but we don't have to have a conflict about it. We don't have to go violent about it. And we actually are influencing the children around us. So if we really want to turn around this nation, to look at a nation which is civil, right? And to have that kind of, we have too many non-communicable diseases and illnesses that are besetting lives, to be using violence, to be taking out lives.
Thank you, Senior Officer.
We have so many things. I realize you're up on time.
Yes, a very positive note that you're leaving with the people within Jamaica and the St. Andrews South space. And we thank you for that. We also want to thank also our listeners from everywhere who have tuned in to listen to us. We want to thank our studio engineer, Isis, who is in-house, Owen Brown, for making it St. Andrews South Beat, as we are working together to create better communities and build our Vision 2030. Once again, Senior Officer, we thank you. Join us again next week right here on Roots 96.1 FM for another episode of the program St. Andrews South Beat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak,